Hello, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading with me, Cindy. Sagittarius, you're the third in what is a new tarot reading that I developed. It's kind of like a snapshot of you. So this is what we're going to look at, Sagittarius. We're going to look at who you truly are. I've talked about that in other readings. How others perceive you. What most people misunderstand about you. How this affects you in your relationships. And what is your most untapped potential? Why does that sound funny? You're untapped. What potential have you? What is your untapped potential? That's how that question is supposed to be asked. So what is your untapped potential? So those are the 5 questions that we're going to ask in this reading. I'm going to do that with the Energy Oracle deck, the Doggy Wisdom Tarot, and the Book of Shadows Tarot Volume 2. That's what we got here. All right. Are you ready, Sagittarius? Let's get started, Saggies. Sagittarius. Sagittarius. Here we are. Okay, who you really are. Appreciation. You are someone who chooses gratitude over anything else. Well, at least most of the time, I'm going to say this is somebody who it is actually, it's kind of interesting. It is the glass half full kind of concept. You could be shifting from a lack mindset to a positive mindset with that as well. I also get like 9 of Pentacles vibes from this card. So you could be quite, I'm going to say most Sagittarians that I know are independent souls. In their own right here. Even if you're in a committed relationship, I still find that there's always an aspect of Sagittarius that desires a sense of independence or something that's just kind of for them. This is your thing and you do it for you, and you need to have that. So I mean, kind of picking up that energy as well. So that's right. It's just the first card. There's many to come out, but that's who you really, really are. Okay. Now, how others perceive you. Wow, interesting. Door to personal healing and happiness. Positive new beginnings. In your life, healing internally or making positive external changes. So you're actually kind of, people are perceiving you exactly how you are. So this is, I would say, because it is going from like, going into positive new beginnings, right? And there's a shift here going from lack to a value mindset. So that's who you are. And so people are perceiving you now. They're maybe not perceiving as much of the internal, which makes a lot of sense as to what you could actually be, but it is reflected on the outside here. So pretty much you're a little bit, at least in one area of your life, or could be one group of people or a person, they are perceiving you fairly accurately as to what is actually going on with you. So what do most people misunderstand about you? The second chakra, closeness with others, nurturing yourself, intimacy and creativity. So I want to put this out there because I think Sagittarians can have a bit of a negative or a bad rap or a misconception that they cannot be close and intimate with people. I think because there is this part of Sagittarius that does need an aspect of freedom in yourself. I like, even the Sagittarians that I know that are in long-term committed relationships, there's at least something that they do once a year, or like a friend of mine, she's married to a Sagittarius. He goes off the grid with his buddies on a fishing trip that's for 2 weeks. No one can get in touch with him. But that's his thing, right? Outside of that, he's great. Well, not that he's not great when he does that, but it's a thing that he needs. And there's a couple other Sagittarians that I've known that have traveled around the world, but they always still come back to their family. Like there's this part of you. So if people if you know, and it might be dependent too on the people that are around you or the type of relationships that you've had around you, where they may want to always be in contact with you or always connected to you, but you do have a very intimate side. I think most people do. Even the people with the biggest wounds have a desire for intimacy and creativity, right? So people misunderstand something about perhaps your vulnerable side your creativity, your intimacy. There's an aspect of that that is misunderstood. I've kind of put my own interpretation into that without pulling out any more cards, but there are a lot more cards to come out. Yeah, the traveler, the wanderer, the explorer, the intellect. How this affects you in relationships. Oh, yeah, see? Broken heart. Yeah, I kind of feel like people don't get you. Grief and loss. Release the person or situation involved. It is time for deep healing. So that's very interesting. Yeah. You might also be the kind of person that just needs some time away sometimes. I'm just picking that up. I mean, I really get more than anything. I mean, it is going from lack to value. And that could even be too, like needing to fill your own cup up again. Like this Nine of Pentacles, things that you need to do for yourself, things that you need to appreciate you. You need to, maybe you get lost in others and you need to reclaim that in yourself. Like that's who you are. You are quite independent, but it is not to say that you are not, a sweet, gentle, intimate soul when it is with the right people. I feel like your heart has been broken in relationships. So you have the broken heart. That was a big stretch there, Cindy. It's a hard one to reach for. Okay. What is your untapped potential here? So I'm just watching my fire. Action. Types of action. Willingness to work, keep pushing forward. Energizing effort here. I wonder what area of your life that is. It could be relationships. You could feel immediately misunderstood and you want to withdraw. We'll see how that goes. Okay. You may see edit cuts in this video. It's just because I have a fire going and I may need to poke it periodically. So if you do see that, I'm not hiding anything from you. I'm just poking my fire. Angel of Balance is at the bottom. Centered in honoring your choices, equilibriums in life. Balance. Finding balance. All right. Now we're going to get real because we're going to go into, sorry, I'm making more space here. Going to go into the Dog Eat Wisdom Oracle deck. Who Sagittarius really is, how others perceive them, what most people misunderstand about you, and how this leaves you. I kind of want to say too, it's maybe like taking more action for people to really see you or to understand you, give people a chance to understand you. There's some type of action here that is untapped for you. Okay, uncertainty. You truly are. Uncertainty, choosing gratitude, shifting from lack to value. You kind of may be like in that, maybe some of you are in like, wow, funny, temperance, the Sagittarius card. I was going to say a bit of a tempering energy where there's parts of you that are kind of like being deconstructed and other parts of you that are still kind of in construction phase. And you could even be sitting there kind of wondering about things, that are going on. Like, is that something that is going to devalue me? Is this something that's going to add value to me? Is this something that I feel like if I get involved in it in the state that I'm in, I may devalue it or myself, or, and that's kind of like searching for the higher good in things. But there is some sort of uncertainty here about shifts, like some sort of major shift that you're going through, and even perhaps who appreciates you, who doesn't, how others perceive you. You're healing. People see you going through some type of a healing. Fun. People see you as healing and fun. People may see you as someone who's going through a healing process, and maybe you're taking on more fun in your life, having more fun, or people, like, right, this is something to be careful of too, may perceive you as someone who is healing, and that could be a lot of fun for them. Like, you know, people who may not want to do kind of their own work and want to attach themselves to you because it feels like you have this incredible vibe. And maybe that's where this is coming from, who you are. So there may be some very cautionary energy that you hold within yourself. What do people really appreciate you for? Because they do perceive you as healing and fun. Those are very high frequency energies. Or healing and fun is something that I can get or feel when I'm with Sagittarius. So maybe you do close off at times because you're thinking, okay, wait a second. This person is utilizing me to feel healed and to have fun in life. Like, that's not my responsibility. I can feel Sagittarius would totally come out and just tell you that. That's not my responsibility. Okay, so what most people misunderstand about you. So second chakra frustration. I think you have, okay, this is totally coming off to me like how I've explained it in terms of, you know, people see you as maybe their positive new beginning, or you could be a lot of fun. But then you become uncertain about what is it that they truly want from me. You know, don't be jaded. Don't fall into the jaded category with this. Because it can happen, but, you know, it can also happen as an area of exploration to kind of move out of it again. And understand how we've compromised ourselves in relationships, or how we didn't like open our eyes a little bit more. Because, okay, so most people misunderstand the intimate side of you. They don't realize that you may even actually perhaps be frustrated with the lack of intimacy that you were able to experience with people. Because there's something that goes up, but maybe kind of like a red flag. There's some kind of indicator here. Oh, no. I know exactly. I've seen this before. I know exactly where this is going to lead. This person's going to rely on me for them to feel really good, for the fun experiences in their life, something, right? There is something about what people misperceive about your... People may even think that you are frustrated with intimacy in certain close relationships, or with certain people, or with them. But there's something here about they don't understand what that is, or why it's that. So how this affects you in relationship, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it affects you in a very initially positive way. I mean, maybe there's an opportunity for growth. Worry. How this affects you in your relationships. Worry about heartbreak. You worried about your own heartbreak, or you're worried about how you may hurt other people. It could be. I'm really picking up the energy of someone who has very particular needs or requirements. And I'm saying it that way because a need is different from a want. Needs and requirements are things that you just gotta have, you know, like if you look at day to day, you need a glass of water. You don't need the fruit juice. You don't need the fruit juice. I mean, it could be like a want, but you need the water, right? Like there's a basic staple here that has to be satisfied. So I feel like you have particular needs and requirements in relationships that doesn't jive with a lot of people. It doesn't make you wrong, and maybe there's been times where it's felt wrong to you, or people have made you feel wrong about it. So what is your untapped potential? It is like some sort of energized effort here. Now, what is that? Centering. Perseverance. Energize. Okay. More action towards perseverance. We're going to have to see how that develops, huh? Oh, you got enthusiasm. Oh, my goodness. Affection, enthusiasm, loneliness. Well, this is weird. I feel like I'm picking up like a really big wound or something in this one. this underline. It's almost like when you experience affection, there's a desire, like you enthusiastically want to be by yourself. Like, is there something about relationships that started to really repel you? Affection, enthusiasm to loneliness. Oh, this is deep shit. This one is feeling very deep. Okay, we need some tarot. You know what? I'm going to do this first. Your underline is so curious. That's a good girl, Lily. Go lay down. Good girl. Oh, now the fire's going good. I do have to apologize to anybody experiencing extremely cold weather. I think I did it. I think I manifested it. I was really worrying about the polar bears, and I was putting it out there too. I was like saying it. I was vocalizing it. And then we all got into a deep freeze. It's good for the polar bears, right? I'm sorry for anyone who lives in a southern climate where you don't have taps to turn off outside water sources. And if anything is frozen, I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm going to pull one tarot card for affection, one for enthusiasm, and one for loneliness. Affection, the lovers. Wow. I mean, that's okay, big. Enthusiasm, the Four of Swords. Wow, that's like wanting to heal. The King of Cups, loneliness. Gosh, affection with the lovers. This is like really important relationships. Really important decisions to make in relationships. Enthusiasm to the Four of Swords is actually to heal. But loneliness, the King of Cups. Is it even just not feeling understood? What? Oh, I couldn't want to give you a hug, Sagittarius, if you would accept it. I'm not making light of that. Well, I am trying to brighten you up a bit. Okay, I'm getting hot. Getting actually hot now. The fire is hot. Lily, is that why you came out of that room? Yeah, it's hot. Maybe the sun too. It's like minus bajillion out there. I hurt my lungs. Lily had her coat and her little boots on, and off she went. She would not stop walking. And I was really bundled up well, but I didn't have anything like covering my face. I had a hood and everything. But she's walking vigorously. And I don't know where she thought she was going, but she was just going. And I started to feel like I don't feel great. And I realized I think it's because I'm breathing in this cold air quite rapidly. And so I just said to her, we have to turn around and come back. So then it's all uphill going back home. And that made it even worse. By the time we were getting home, I just didn't feel right. And my chest is sore. I think I got like frostbite in my lungs or something. Okay. Who you really are. Uncertain about appreciation. The Knight of Cups. I think you're uncertain about gestures that people make towards you or how people really feel. I don't know. Maybe people have come towards you with a lot of false intentions. Because yeah, you really if I just look at the words, like you're uncertain about people's maybe loving appreciation of you. Okay, that's who you really are. How others perceive you. Healing, happiness, and fun. The Wheel of Fortune. I really do feel like you don't feel understood. You don't feel understood? And you're not, because you don't know if you're understood. You may even be uncertain about how people appreciate your gestures. There's uncertainty here about people's gestures towards you. And how people perceive you hasn't really changed to me. And I mean, well, as I say that, you have the wheel of fortune. So there could be some sort of change there. People are perceiving a change in you. Well, people misunderstand intimacy and frustration. The Knight of Pentacles. This has actually got the feeling, okay, so this looks like someone who wants to take something slow. Some of you might be the type of person that wants to take relationships slow, but people may not understand why, or they may have the wrong impression about why. You may even come off kind of like big and bold in front of people, but it's kind of like, well, that's who you are, because you are very upfront. Sagittarius is a very upfront energy, and they'll kind of tell you. They'll tell you. They'll tell you. You guys tell me in the comments all the time. Tell me. You'll tell you. But then it doesn't mean that you don't want to take things slow here. It's really an interesting energy. How this affects you in your relationships? Broken heart, worry. What's that? The Four of Wands. You know what I'm getting here? So if you're the person who, let's say, you might be quite open with how you express yourself. Maybe you're quite open with how you compliment people, or if you met someone at a I don't know why I always say conference. I can't think of anything else where people go out and do things and they meet new people. It's pretty pathetic. But anyway, so a pottery class, I don't know. You just come up to someone and go, wow, I mean, I've been watching you make pottery for a couple of weeks now, and you're really good at it. You're really good at it. Want to get together one day and have a couple of drinks and talk about pottery? You know, people may, this is a funny thing. Like, people may think, oh, whoa, Sagittarius is coming on kind of strong. But you may actually be like, you know what, I'm not, it's like, I just wanted to go for a drink and talk about pottery. That was all. Like, it wasn't like, yeah, I don't know. There might be something that is perceived about your movement as being kind of fast. People may think that you are frustrated if things are not moving quickly in life. But what I'm getting at with this little area, how this affects you in relationships, I think you may worry about other people's feelings if they're not kind of like, there must be something going on inside of them. You may actually, I don't want to say project, but I think you have a natural ability here, because you are healing and fun, to worry about other people. And that may also be a reason, like something that you recognize in yourself too, where like this whole reading is like layers of an onion, right? Like as we explore and get into deeper messages, it doesn't nullify what we've already talked about. It's just another aspect of how this is perceived or how it is unwrapped. So you could honestly, be just kind of cautious, or you could know, oh, you know what? When someone reacts this way, I think that there's something inside them. Interesting. This feels like a lot of thoughts going on in your head. So what is your untapped potential? Is persevering your action. There might be actions that you like to take, but persevering. Oh my God, the Devil. Got some kind of little bad habit here. Kind of bad little habit. Maybe it is not to persevere. Persevere with others to get their shit cleaned up. Persevere with the Devil. The action. Maybe you need to, like, I don't know about persevering with the Devil. But I would kind of go with that too, is like if some of you, because it's about energizing, putting in more effort, as opposed to just persevering with something really unhealthy around you, is to take some type of action about that. 2 of Wands. Do teeny tiny tarot. All right. The Knight of Cups. Appreciation and uncertainty. This is who you really are. Wow, the Lovers. Now that comes up, right? That Lovers card came up with affection. And then the 4 of Swords with enthusiasm. But yeah, so there's also a part of you here that I want to talk about, that, you know, when you could be enthusiastic about relationships, but you may not be sure how to express yourself the way that you want to be perceived. So, and I mean, these are big relationships we're talking about, like really important relationships, life-altering relationships. How others perceive you, right? The door to personal healing, fun, the Wheel. Yeah, totally. The Ace of Pentacles, like you're on some kind of a new beginning here. That's what people think. That's the perception. Door to personal healing and happiness is also about new beginnings, positive new beginnings. You're having a lot of fun in your life. You are having a very, people see you, people, I don't know, maybe these are people that don't even know what's going on. They're just like imagining. I imagine that Sagittarius is traveling the world right now, and Sagittarius is hanging out with people that they have the most, right? Sagittarius, something has changed here. People perceive that something has changed in your life. And let's just say they think that you're having the best time ever. That what they misunderstand though, well, you might be frustrated. Good chakra. Frustration in the Knight of Pentacles. The Hermit and the 9 of Swords. All right, I'm going to just say this right now. I don't think you're traveling around the world. I don't think you're traveling around. Well, maybe you are. Then this is not your reading. Because this is literally someone who is spending a lot of time by themselves, in their head a lot. They might, I don't know, you might be working through shit in your mind here that's just driving you nuts. Something could even be holding you back, but people, I don't know. People may not see you and they're thinking, yeah, you know what? They haven't. I'm just thinking this because like where I live, there's a lot of snow and cold right now. So you walk by houses in that driveway and your impression is, oh, I wonder if that person's one of those like, what do we call those birds? What do they call them in Canada? Like Canadians that go to Florida and shit like that for the winter. They just duck out winter completely. And you just see the snow piling up in their driveway. And you're like, oh yeah, that person's, but it's like, it's more like that. Like people might have that perception that, oh, they've off doing something new, having a good time. They've left the snow behind. But in reality, you're just not even coming out to shovel the snow. So you're worrying about broken heart. You're worrying about broken heart, 4 of Wands. There's a big part of you, Sagittarius. There's a big sweetheart. Oh no. Oh, the Ace of Swords. Like, I just want to, I love doing these readings because I feel like I see parts of you that most people don't, or parts of you that you just maybe even have difficulty sharing with others. And then it comes out and you feel seen and it's like, okay, I don't know. Because there's a big part of you here, Sagittarius, that is like, it's kind of funny. I want to say a big pussycat. And like pussycats can be quite flippant. But they can also be like just cuddle in and just like, Larry did that this morning in bed. My alarm went off and I had to get up and it's friggin' cold out. And I didn't want to get up at first. And he made it even harder because he got into the bed and he just like laid in the crook and then he put his head right here and it was just purring. It was almost like he came in to say, don't worry, you don't have to get up. We'll just all stay in bed today. There's kind of like that part of you that I'm picking up here that there's actually a really big part of you here that worries about emotional health in yourself, in other people. Yeah, I'm picking up a nice side of it's a nice side of Sagittarius. It doesn't feel like a side that I feel like gets explored very often. What is your untapped potential? I don't know. You might eat too much ice cream. It's too many sweets. I'm not sure. But okay. Action, perseverance, the devil. Untapped potential. I do feel like too that Sagittarius is the Knight of Wands also in the tarot deck. That is somebody who is like really driven, right? That is a very driven energy. And perseverance is not a driven energy. So it is learning to tap into something here. I mean, it might be with the devil. There could be things that block you at times, and there's just no way around it. You know, there's nothing else that you can do. And pushing against it isn't going to make it better. It's probably just going to hurt your head or exhaust you. So action, perseverance, the devil. The Ten of Wands. Oh, yeah. It's carrying a burden. Persevering with something that you carry. And you got the King of Swords at the bottom. The Fool. The Six of Wands. Okay, they got the Two of Pentacles, the Six of Wands, and the Fool, and the King of Swords. Oh, I don't know. This is like, I don't know, just like someone who's just doing what they got to do every day. The Two of Pentacles. Doing what you got to do every day. It's kind of like a little, like, right. It's interesting, right? The Six of Wands with that. This is someone who's not trying to be a hero that kind of comes out like that. And then, wow, woohoo! The Fool. There's your new beginning. But the King of Swords. Coming up against some very strong belief system. But he always, the last little while, he comes up like my rule maker. So I don't know what that is. But that's what I see here in these cards. Saggies. I'm going to go do the extended. In extended, I'm going to use the Moonology deck and see what cycle you're getting ready to exit and what cycle you're getting ready to enter. And I'm going to use the tarot as well. But then I'm also going to use the Return of Spirit Oracle deck and the tarot and see how you can start really tapping into this untapped potential, which I do feel like is persevering through some type of difficult time. When the devil, it's almost like something you're bound to and just getting yourself through it. Okay. Thank you so much, Sag. Until next time, be gentle with yourselves. Bye.